So I won't pretend to understand it in the same way that you three can, but I have worked with Africa when it comes to Bitcoin and blockchain. I co-created a course in Nigeria for postgrads looking at Bitcoin and blockchain. And I got a sense, again, not to the same degree, but I got a sense of how important it could become. But there's still skepticism everywhere. Like there's skepticism the world over when it comes to Bitcoin and blockchain. But I want to hone down on Bitcoin. So for anyone watching this, there perhaps might be people in, South Africa that are curious about Bitcoin, but, still not sure. They still think it's a bit scammy or it's to do with illicit activity or something. Why is Bitcoin so valuable for all the purposes you've just said? Because everyone on this call, we know the answer to this question, but I don't think it's obvious to everybody. And if we are attracting people that are just sort of curious as to what you guys are up to, why is Bitcoin this asset that is so powerful for the sort of needs you're talking about?
Well, think about it, right? Look at our adoption rates in Africa. I think in ratio to population and size, it's probably in the top 5 in the world. When I sit down with a CEO from Europe and I try to explain Bitcoin, it's harder than when I go down to a shebeen owner or a tavern owner in El Dorado Park where I grew up. When I sit down with a black woman where I grew up and I explain Bitcoin to her, the core value propositions around debasement, around scarcity, around sovereignty, immutability, these things resonate, not on a fascinating computer science level, but on a humane, organic, on the ground level. Because that person is constantly struggling all the time to dodge, skip around, and try to save her money, ensure that it's not debased, ensure that when a politician does something doesn't affect her, etc. These challenges, again, I'll repeat, the core value proposition of Bitcoin is personified to that human being. An African understands Bitcoin much faster than a G8 individual. Just anyone. You walk down the road here and you say, let me tell you something. Let's talk about money. Don't you have these struggles with your money? That when we go through that's just the basic value prop, you get the nod and you get the adoption. And that's why. And that's why Bitcoin, what we say, it's made for us. You folks that grew up in the UK and you grew up in the United States, and I'm not saying in a derogatory way, I'm just trying to build the contrast, is
I'm
that
not taking it that way, yeah.
yeah. So we on a day-to-day basis, we really feel these things, right?